Hello everyone and welcome back to another video. Today we have the Keyphone. I want to make sure that you understand that this is the beta version, so it is not at release point yet, but this should give you a glimpse of the latest offering that has a QWERTY keyboard. I think the device is pretty good, but let's first get started with the frequently asked questions. As you see on the frequently asked questions, it is a very good device and it has pretty wide compatibility. It's not going to be compatible in every area, but you will have the ability to use this device more than just in North America or in the United States. The device does have a QWERTY keyboard. It has 3 keys, which are configurable. However, as of right now, they are not. It does have the SIM card slot, a camera. It does come with a 3.5mm headphone jack here at the top, and volume rockers and the power on and off button right here on the side. It comes with USB-C, which is greatly appreciated in the landscape of dumb phones or not so smart devices. And it does have a QWERTY keyboard, which is going to be a little bit nostalgic for those of you who have been part of the early 2000s generation and you may want something back. So let's get started with that first, which is the QWERTY keyboard. So it does have 2 capacitive buttons for extra menus. And I'm not super fan of that, but it does get the job done. Now, one thing here with the keyboard, it's actually pretty good. The clickability is very nice, but sometimes when you are typing too fast, you may not have the responsiveness that you're used to from like older Blackberries, So in this case, as you see, the device does pretty okay when it comes to the QWERTY keyboard. And that is if you have normal sized hands. This is one of my caveats with this device. The software experience has been really great, but the typing experience I think would be better with a T9 engine. There is a little bit of gloss on the keys, and that, I don't know, maybe it's not that matte flat feel that I am used to now with the minimal phone, but rather this gloss circular feel, like a little bit rounded, and you need to press quite deep in order to get the response that you want. The keys have, gotten maybe more used to that clickiness as I have been using it for the past week and a half, and it has gotten better. But it's just something to note that in the beginning, it's going to be a little bit rough. The software of the device, however, and the battery life have been excellent. So I can tell you that, just going around, going through the menus and navigating, it's very easy. You get to access the time and date, you get to access the settings, volume, everything. So those things are very useful, and also they are pretty fast. Here is the search, which is still in development, so it hasn't been fully implemented. You have tools like a calendar. There's no sync as of now, so it is a local calendar so that you can create your event, and put a new event right there and go through, okay, does it repeat? Do you want to add a notification, some notes, location, etc., etc. The device does come with Android Auto as well, and that's how you will be able to access some of the extra navigation features with Waze, but you will not be able to access them on the go as an application on the device. So that is something to keep in mind. It does have notes, alarm, calculator, timer, stopwatch, flashlight, and the notification shade, which you also have a key here that you can access the notification shade by. Now, the alarm is pretty basic. You can create your alarm and, put it there. You can also get to the calculator and make some basic calculations, but, it's a little bit smaller, and you have to use some of the keys in order to get some of the functions in order to be able to do those calculations. So it's a little bit crammed right now. So as you see, it's not super amazingly designed, but it is quite responsive, and I haven't had many issues at all in this department. Now, I do want to call out the excellent camera. The camera is actually very great, and you'll be seeing samples right now. I did showcase some samples in the live stream that I did, where I kind of went through a few things here and there. But it's very high definition, and I will be able to showcase as well on your screen, some of the extra things that we always do for the camera. The device does play video. I was able to transfer a few videos and shorts and, that kind of stuff, some work that I was kind of working on. And you're able to kind of like, as you see, you're able to play video. But sometimes I think there's a limit. I don't know what the limit is or what the maybe size of the file that you cannot play is. But this one, for example, when you try playing it, says media exceeds device capabilities. And this is a reel at 88 megabytes. So if it's a short reel, I was doing this kind of like testing it out, it does not play it out. So there may be a size limitation when it comes to playing your MP4s or videos in this specific case. I also loaded MP3s and waves just to test, kind of like two different things, but it kind of refused to play it. It opens the music player, which you do have access to, but it doesn't play the music. So this one is a full album. So in this specific case, maybe I wasn't expecting it to play. This one is a wave, which is also quite large, is a large file, and it also refuses to play. It just says couldn't play this song. So I think there is a limitation as to the size of your media that you can play. And I will continue playing around and seeing like, okay, what's the maximum size that you can actually get the device to play the media versus what's, not allowed. And so here you have your contacts. You can add your contacts, name, company, file, email, address. So you can have quite an expansive array of options when it comes to the contacts. The thing that I like to say that I'm also not a fan of is that the applications update automatically in the background, but you don't have a way to know what was changed. So again, this is the beta version. So, you still have a few things to get worked on here and there. But one of the things that I would appreciate is a changelog, or just saying like, okay, what's happening here? How is it going to work? Or what has been improved? You get a lot of updates in the background, but you do not know what happened or what was changed. You also you don't have a way to check, hey, do I have a new update? It just happens in the background from time to time as they're updating things. I hope to see something different when it comes to the release. So far, my experience has been great with T-Mobile. The AT&T and Verizon certifications are still ongoing. I did put my MVNO SIM card there, and I was able to make a call with the 3 big carriers, but text messages were a little bit more wonky, and I only got them to work with T-Mobile as of my testing, right? But they are working on those certifications, and hopefully by the time that they get to release, they will have those certifications available. I think the device is a solid overall, but I'm going to stick to my initial finding that you probably don't want to get the QWERTY keyboard version. You probably want to get the T9 version or the full touch version that they're developing, just because it is a little bit more cramped. If you do have small hands, I think this will be a no-brainer and you will have no issues. But if you have larger than, average size hands, then you're going to feel it cramped and you're going to be typing. And it's going to be a little bit of a different experience. So this is a first overview. It's not a full final review. I'll probably do an update once they have implemented all of the features that they want to get. But with the battery life being 3 to 4 days, even more if you use it very little, plus a lot of the features that they're looking into, specifically email or specifically looking some of these business things that you can add or you can, install as optional things. I think the device has a lot of promise, and the company has made the software extremely, extremely well. So I like that. The navigation is very nice. And even though the D-pad is a little bit smaller, on the smaller end, I did not feel, at first I thought that it was going to be a problem, but I did not think this has been a problem. If you have any questions about this device or any of the other devices that I have reviewed, make sure to put them in the comments below. I'll be interacting with you guys, and I hope to be as helpful, as always been, and to answer some of those questions. Good device, a good idea, but it's going to need that final refinement. And again, this is a beta device to be a strong competitor in the market, but I think it has all of the components, and the size, and the camera were excellent. So there is a bright future for this company, in my opinion, and I'm excited for you guys to test it. And maybe you have different opinions to me on the keyboard, but we'll see how that plays out. Thank you for watching. I'll see you in the next video.